Hey guys, what's up? I'm Zach. Welcome to Zach's Soapbox. This is the video for the week of Friday, March 13th, 2026. Hello everyone, I'm your host of this little shindy we call Zach's Soapbox. I'm Zach. Welcome to my little corner of the internet and corner of the world where once a week I get on here, speak my mind, talk about whatever I want to talk about, and then upload it. You guys give me feedback. Maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't. Be sure to hit the like, comment, and share button on this thing. Help spread it around, that sort of thing. We do something different every week here at the Soapbox. So what I have for you this week is, in various videos you see me wearing hats and that sort of thing. So what I did is I got all my hats down, and I figured I'd tell you a little bit about each one. The hat I'm currently wearing is an old Ozzy Osbourne hat from 16 years ago on the Scream tour. Me and my mom, who's gone now, went and seen Ozzy up in Cleveland, and boy, when we drove home, it was snowing really bad. We drove home like 20 miles an hour on I-79, I guess. And but we went, we had a good time, and Judas Priest opened on that tour, and but it's the Ozzy from the Scream tour. See, it says Scream on the back, and it's old and seen better days. I've even washed it recently, and it's still kind of, but I still keep it. This hat here, this is a Soviet Fleet Admiral's summer hat. You know what I mean? For like summer, and I guess it could be kind of considered a garrison hat, but this is a Soviet Fleet Admiral. I believe the Black Sea Fleet. A lot of my hats are from, the Soviet era, that sort of thing. I usually get them off Etsy, if you want to know where I get them. And then this hat here, this is an old boonie hat my neighbor gave me to keep the sun out of my eyes here in Vegas because the sun here is so brutal. But what I did is I stuck various different little pins in it, like this pin right here. This is from like the Soviet Space Agency, and let's see, this one right here. This is like the Soviet Airborne. This one right here, I believe, is the flag of the Soviet Union and USSR, and that sort of thing. Some of these are like from the great, from the Great Patriotic War. Like this one right here, this darker one, that's a Soviet KGB badge and pin. Let's see what else. There's the hammer and sickle, that sort of thing. I almost filmed this in the living room today with my Soviet flag. This is the pin here. This pin here is the emblem of the Great Patriotic War from World War II in the USSR. That sort of thing. Let's see. This hat here, I dropped something, but this hat here is the Soviet KGB general's cap. The head of the KGB parade cap. That's what this is here. It's got the blue stripe across, the dark blue, navy blue, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. This hat here, this is a Ushanka. This one's, I got two of these. This one's got the, things pinned up, or the flaps pinned up, but I have another one where the flaps are down because the strap on the Ushanka, like right here, broke off. But this is a Ushanka. It's got the Soviet badge on it, that sort of thing. Let's see what else. This is kind of a, I think the strap went out of it, but this is a maroon red Soviet beret. It's kind of worn. I need to get a new one of these. I have another one I'll show you. But this is red, I think, is specifically for the Spetsnaz and the Special Forces, I think. But I think the Russian Special Forces is a GRU, if I'm not mistaken. But let's see what else. This one is a Soviet Fleet Admiral's cap. See, it's got the hammer and sickle and the red star, that sort of thing. Let's see, what else? Uh, this hat here, this is one of my favorites. I actually bought this hat at a place called Chapel Hats over on the Vegas Strip. Before I moved here, I won a jackpot. And I always wanted to buy a hat at this really expensive hat store. And it's got the devil tail and the devil horns, and it's got like a little devil dude. And it's made of real leather. It was like a $350 hat. But, so, yeah, you've seen me wearing that one, but there's a closer look at it. But this is really cool, and so because I hit a jackpot out here one time before I moved here, I bought a hat for myself, so that's cool. Let's see, what else? What else do we have? We have the Soviet Marshal's cap. The Marshal of the Army is kind of like the head of the army, like a general, but even higher than like a 3-star general, which is like a marshal. So it's like the head of the Joint Chiefs. Like say if you were in the Marines, it'd be the commandant. So there was like the Marshal of the Red Army, the Marshal of the Soviet Air Force, the Marshal of the Soviet Marines, and so on and so forth. That's that one. And then what else do we got? We got the Soviet Field Marshal's cap. This is a Field Marshal. It was one of the first ones I bought. Again, I get these off of Etsy. Various suppliers, usually from Ukraine, in that area. They take about 6 to 8 weeks to get here. But so that's the Soviet Field Marshal's cap. Let's see what else. A couple more for you. This one is the Soviet Air Force General's cap. And the captain of the Soviet Air Force got the Air Force emblem on the top here. The wings, that sort of thing. It's got the blue stripe here. So there you go with that one. And then, let's see what else we got. Just an old Pittsburgh Steelers cap from when I used to watch football. I kind of quit watching football. I'm from, the Pittsburgh area, about an hour and a half north of Pittsburgh. But once I moved out here and the Raiders moved here, I kind of quit watching football altogether because a 1 o'clock game is 10 o'clock in the morning and that sort of thing. Let's see. We got, this is a Soviet infantry, I believe a Soviet tank operators, because I think because it's black here, isn't this an infantry or a tank operator's sergeant's cap? This is one of the first ones I ever bought. I've had it for the longest. But yeah, so that's what this is. It's got the Soviet badge, that sort of thing. Let's see, what else? Here's a red cap. I just wore this pretty recently. But this is a different supplier called Genwear off Etsy. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. But so this one's a brighter red, but I still wear it because it's got the Soviet badge and stuff like that on it. Let's see what else we got. This is a replica of a Soviet Marine. This is the Che Guevara beret with the hammer and sickle badge. That sort of thing. If you get in there, see the hammer and sickle on there. And it's like the Che Guevara sort of beret. Okay. Let's see, what else? This is this is the very first beret I ever bought, but it's kind of getting too loose. And the badge is coming off, so I don't really wear it anymore. But this is a beret of a Soviet Marine. The Soviet Marines wear black berets. And so that's what this one is. Got this, the hammer and sickle badge with the emblem and things. It's got the, the anchor for like the Marine sort of thing. Let's see. This here is a World War II Soviet garrisons cap. You've probably seen me wearing a lot of these, but you never knew what they were. But I got this one off Amazon. Doesn't really fit my head, but what the hell, I wear it once in a while anyway. Let's see, what else? This one is a Soviet. This one's lost its the strap to keep it tight, but this is a Soviet airborne troopers beret. That's why it's sky blue, and then it's got like an airplane right here on this side. But it's I bought this, and then I had to put the pin in it, but I didn't put the badge in right and everything. What else? Let's see. We got a hammer and sickle cap, just with a hammer and sickle on it. I've had it for about 7 years. An old friend of mine who I don't even speak to anymore gave it to me. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Let's see, what else? Here's the Bedoyevka. It's kind of, the Bedoyevka is one of the first Soviet military uniforms. I believe even Leon Trotsky was the head of the commissar of the Soviet army or something like this, the head of the fashion for the, but anyway, this dates back even like to the early days of the Soviet Union, like in the 1920s. And then we have, let's see, here, okay, this is just some kind of fake hair I have, Pittsburgh Steelers type stuff. You just kind of put it in and the hair kind of goes all around, but it's a Pittsburgh Steelers. See the black and gold and the Steeler emblem and stuff like that. And what else do we have? We have the Black Sabbath hat with the Master Reality logo. And then on the end, this is the end from 2016 on the Black Sabbath Final Farewell Tour. And then we got another Soviet Marines beret from a different supplier. And then I have a midnight blue Soviet beret, midnight blue. I'm not sure the Soviets actually used midnight blue, but I have a midnight blue Soviet beret and that sort of thing. That's about it, guys. I just wanted to kind of show my cool hat collection. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked it. Just kind of wanted to show and give you, kind of explain what everyone was a little bit. Please feel free to like, comment, and share on this video. I wanted to get this done because my phone doesn't have much memory. But please feel free to like, comment, and share. Share this video around, comment. If you're into history, cool, let me know. Let me know which one was your favorite down in the comments. All right, guys, have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.